Hey guys, Mustang here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the physical LR YAMCHA and PUAR from the World Tournament that got their EZA with the release of this current World Tournament on Global. Come check out the live stream. It might still be live depending on how the special weekend subathon event is going. When this video goes up, I might still be live, so come check it out. But yeah, we're going to check these guys out here and see how well they can do. So they're full level 10 links. I have not given them skill orbs or anything yet. I haven't touched their build since I got them way back in the day. So mine have 8 additional, 15 crit and then 3 dodge. I'm not sure what their optimal build will be, but we'll obviously try them out and see how we get on. They have a joined forces leader skill, 4 key, and HP attack and defense 150. Could still be useful for things like battlefield, especially as like a sub leader, depending on the kind of team that you're running. And then when we look at their super attacks, now unfortunately they are both unarmed super attacks, which means these guys, despite being physical, are not going to be very good against Int Kid Buu, unfortunately. But their 12 key super, they raise attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage and lower defense. And then the 18 key super, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage and massively lowers defense. So decent super attack effect, additional supers obviously giving them more defense. Then they have key plus 5, additional attack and defense 150% when performing a super, and then an additional 100% if it's an ultra super. So when we do an 18 key super, they get 250% attack and defense. But you can see they don't really get any start of turn stats. So they are most certainly not a slot 1 unit. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. And then if there is another joined forces ally attacking in the same turn, they get another additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. They get 150% defense and stun themselves if there's a Peppy Gal's enemy. And then if there isn't, they get 3 key and an extra 150% attack and a high chance to dodge. And obviously that is most events, right? Because there are very few actual like end game content. Well, there's probably none that we would consider like end game content where you have a Peppy Gal's enemy. So that last part of their passive is basically always going to be up 3 key, attack 150, and then a high chance to dodge. So we're going to run them on the Int YAMCHA team. They've only got, I think, 2 200% teams. Let me just double check, because one of them is Int YAMCHA. And then I think the other one, do they have 2? I'll bring it up here. But of course, Int YAMCHA, not exactly a team that you're going to be running very often. Physical Path to Power Kid Goku, so like the DB Saga team. Now, the good thing about these guys is they're not locked to a Dragon Ball Saga team like a lot of Dragon Ball Saga characters are. But obviously with their links and everything, it's going to be difficult to run them on certain other teams. They do have these links like the Incredible Adventure and Guidance of the Dragon Balls, which of course are these Dragon Ball Saga specific links. But I mean, this rotation with the Saiyan Saga YAMCHA and the Bulma, we have a pretty good setup. But you can see 67k defense is their defense. So 67,000 defense plus what, 250% if we get an 18 key super is still only putting them to 234. And then they get the 30% raises from their super attacks. So their raw defense is honestly very bad, but they do get a 50% chance to dodge. Obviously on this particular setup here, they're not actually going to take any attacks. And we are going to get the full 24 key with them here as well. So, I mean, you can see with the Bulma support, we jump up to 92k. But yeah, let's see how we go here with their first super attack. With all those links active and the Bulma support, this should be a pretty good turn for them. So we'll see what we're getting. They're getting a lot of attack boosts with their 18 key super. So with the links, with the support, should be a reasonable damage number here. Bear in mind they are a free-to-play unit, of course, though. So, okay, 24 million. All right, well, maybe that's 24 million is a bit higher than I expected, I guess. But then, of course, you know, they're backing that up with only having about 350k defense, maybe 400, because they do get the 30% on super. We did not get the additional super attack from their passive, though. So, all right, let's do... Yeah, we'll do this then. Yeah, we've got Gohan here basically just to hold down the other rotation. Yeah, we'll just grab those because then the Bulma orb change should be decent on the next turn. But yeah, Gohan went ahead on the typical, as you may have noticed, we started on turn 3. Yamcha and Puar were in slot 7. But I do like to do this versus Martian Power Absorption to showcase some of these new units now, because it's a much longer stage. We get a good chance to see what these guys can do. And yeah, they're in slot 7. But Tech Gohan on his first turn literally got the quad super turn, which it looks like he might do again. Shows you how crazy he gets built up if he does keep doing these supers. This is his second appearance, and he's up to 12.8. So yeah, Tech Gohan is very good. And then obviously all of those supers lowering attack as well puts us in a good spot here. 8.4 for Krillin, because he got hit last turn, so he has his full passive active here. He also lowers attack, so yeah, this guy just getting mega attack lowered straight away, which is obviously very good for us, because you know, if you're running the double Yamcha leads team, literally this is my second attempt at loading up into the showcase, because on the first attempt Yamcha and Puar were in slot 7 as well, and Yamcha decided to just not dodge a whole bunch of attacks in the first turn against the physical Butenks, and take like 90k from normals. We didn't actually even get to turn 3 to see Yamcha and Puar, so, which funnily enough, if he doesn't dodge this, oof, that was close. That dodge cut-in came up so late, I really thought he wasn't going to dodge it for a second then. Alright, but now we do have a joined forces ally on the rotation with the Tien and Chaozu, so we can get the additional, well, the extra attack part of their passive. It might not end up being an additional super, of course, but let's grab these, get you to 24 key again, and then get 6 key there for you, get you to 24 as well. So, I mean, this is a good turn for Yamcha. A lot of links active here. We get the extra attack potentially from having Tien and Chaozu. I mean, this is the turn where, with that extra part of his passive, he could potentially get 4 supers in this turn, which, considering the attack stat that we saw him get previously, that's certainly very good. More attack lowering here as well, which is obviously beneficial for these guys. Yeah, 22.8. And that's with the Bulma support, but no other support unit on the rotation. So you start throwing other support units on here as well. And then there's the additional 13 million on the 12 key. It's pretty nice. And then that's only a normal. And then we did get the hidden potential as well, and that goes up to 13.5. So that means he's had 3 30% defense raises here as well. So we get the dodge, and then we tank the normals for double-digit damage. So, I mean, that is pretty good, all things considered. Because bear in mind, again, as we've already said, like, this guy's a free-to-play LR. Now, if you're a newer player, of course, having some of these older World Tournament LR reward cards is a little bit more difficult, because you can only get them from randomly summoning on the World Tournament units ticket banner, which, let's face it, that banner is not particularly good at the best of times anyway. And then, yeah, actually pulling one of the LRs is a bit unlikely. They did give out, I think, was it 1 copy as part of the missions for this first one, though? So if you have been playing this World Tournament, I'm fairly sure I remember collecting my rewards at some point on the first day and getting 1 copy of these guys. But then, of course, that's going to be them at 55%. I'm not sure if they're available in the signature shop. I know some of the older EZAs get put into there, but it does mean, unless you're somebody that already had these guys set up, I mean, we're seeing what they're doing here, Rainbow level 10 links. So obviously anything lower than that, the biggest thing is going to be their defense is, of course, going to be drastically lower. Gohan is just going absolutely crazy in this one. Well, why doesn't he do this every time I use him? Get like 3 or 4 supers every single turn. Dude is absolutely stacked up now, which is great, because we don't have to worry about Yamcha at the end here, I don't think, because Krillin might kill him. Okay, won't kill him. But yeah, Krillin will tank here. Oh, because his buff had worn off, so yeah, his attack wasn't as high. But I'm not sure if Yamcha could kill, actually, because he can potentially get multiple supers. But we've attack lowered this guy enough that I think we would survive, potentially even survive not dodging a super here. But you know, there's a lot of attack lowering on this team. Dragon Ball Saga characters, there is a lot of attack lowering across the spread of that team, so that's pretty good for these events where you actually can attack lower the boss. Alright, so we're back to this setup here. I think it's probably best to just do this, because we don't want Yamcha in slot 1. And then I think we will let's use Bulma's active skill. Get the full orb field change here. Give everyone the massive buff. Because obviously, remember, not only does it change the field of orbs and make it easy for her to get her thing, but it gives all allies 7 key, attack and defense 17%, and attacks effective against all types. And that 17% attack is multiplicative as well. So that a unit that's getting 250% attack on super, that extra 17% factors into that in a way that it's going to be quite a significantly large number. So this was the rotation with the YAMCHA in slot 3 where we saw the highest attack stat from them previously. Is it like 24 million? So we should see a pretty big number from them here. Obviously, Bulma going to get the guaranteed additional. She's going to hit pretty hard on this turn as well. And then, yeah, depending on the additionals we get. Now, we don't have a Joined Forces character. That's the only restriction, right? Like I say, you're not restricted to running these guys on DB Saga or Earthbred Fighters or something like that. But ideally, you would want a Joined Forces character. The ideal team build for them, if you were running them on main rotation, yeah, 28 mil. The idea, if you're running them on main rotation, is to have a bunch of Joined Forces characters floating, so that there's always a Joined Forces character on rotation with them. But yeah, and then the additional straight up to 16 mil. I mean, in terms of damage wise, like for a free-to-play unit, this guy's hitting incredibly hard. Yeah, 28 mil into 216 million additionals. That's 50 million attack stat worth of attack that he just did on that turn for a free-to-play character. Now, that's on the Bulma active skill turn, but even so, like, that is a very impressive amount of damage. You're up to 1.35 million. I wonder if you could, if we transform you, I mean, we're going to end up the video here. I just want to see how much Gohan's actually going to do to the Buu Piccolo here. He might immediately get stunned, of course, which will be very disappointing. But yeah, YAMCHA and Puar, a lot of damage, but the problem is going to be like the teams that you're going to run them on, right? Like Earthbred Fighters, Worthy Rivals. Like there's a couple of teams that they're on the worst teams, but they're not really on any of like the top tier teams, right? Dragon Ball Saga definitely needs a bit of a buff to see a comeback. Path to Power Kid Goku can be kind of usable still sometimes, especially against int bosses and if you're getting those 7 orbs. But yeah, these guys seem like a very solid free-to-play unit. They're just not really on teams that you're going to run that much anymore. But let me know what you guys think of YAMCHA and Puar down below in the comment section. Do you have these guys already? Did you get your first copy from this World Tournament? Let me know your thoughts on them and how well they perform down below in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.